Okay, so I do want to say at the beginning and end, I think, of the previous video where I went over Jamestown Part 1, it talks about a second reading, and we don't actually need that second reading. We're only going to do the one today. We'll do the second reading tomorrow. So just disregard that part, but we are ready for the cause and effect. And you probably will still want to have your reading pulled up. Even if you listen to the video, it's not a bad idea to have this pulled up because we're going to do most of it together, but I am going to leave a little bit of it for you to do on your own. So you should have this paper either if you're in class, you probably have a physical copy, like a paper copy, or if you're doing this on Notability. But what we're going to do is we're going to look down here at the bottom. We have 8 different phrases or like little mini paragraphs about things that have happened in the Jamestown reading, and we're going to match up the causes and the effects. Now, we have talked about cause and effect a lot, but just quickly to review, the cause is why something happens. So it's the reasoning or the reason that something happens. The effect is what happens because of it. And this is the example I always use. If I'm walking down the hallway and I don't have my shoes tied, I trip and fall. The cause is that I didn't have my shoes tied. The effect is that I fell because my shoes were untied, right? So that's what we're going to be looking for. If you look down here at the bottom, first off, if you haven't cut these out, pause the video now and go ahead and cut them out if you're using an actual copy, a paper copy. It doesn't tell you which one is a cause and which is an effect. We just know that some of these are going to have to match up, right? There's a cause and effect for each one. So we're really going to have to read through these and think about which ones are causes and which ones are effects. For example, I'm going to start down here by where our picture of our scissors is. Or if you're in class and you have cut these out, we're looking at the one that says Jamestown was located on a marsh. Just hearing that doesn't sound like an effect to me. That sounds more like a cause. Like this is the cause of something. So if I know that Jamestown was located on a marsh, I'm going to see what would match up with that. So I'm going to read through these. Clay is not ideal for farming. The settlers couldn't plant many crops. That doesn't really connect. So I'm going to keep going. Mosquitoes were everywhere in the marsh. Ooh, it has the word marsh. So that kind of perks my ears up. They carried diseases such as malaria and pneumonia. Many colonists got sick and died from these diseases. Those definitely sound like they would connect. So if I think about mosquitoes were everywhere and lots of diseases may have killed the colonists, why were the mosquitoes everywhere and lots of diseases? It was because Jamestown was located on a marsh. I definitely think those go together. I'm going to keep reading just in case. They were Native American tribes living nearby. The Spanish wanted the land too. There was a threat of an attack. No. The colonists had been gentlemen in Europe, and they did not come to Jamestown willingly or prepared to do the manual. Nope, that doesn't have anything to do with it, right? Many of them refused to work before John Smith motive. Nope. The colonists had to be prepared for an attack by the natives. Nope, but I am hearing some things that may connect to something else in a minute. Land that wasn't swampy was mostly a thin layer of good soil with lots of clay. Now, this does have to do with the land, but I don't think those are causes and effects, right? This is like talking about a different type of land than like the marshy, swampy thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one that says Jamestown was located on a marsh, and I'm going to put that here at number 1. So either, if you're in Notability, you're going to copy and paste this text, or even if you're in Notability, you could label these like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You could label all of those, and then you could put the numbers in here. But Jamestown was located on a marsh. That's the cause that I'm going to put for number 1. And then the effect was the one that starts with the words mosquitoes were. So mosquitoes were everywhere in the marsh. That's going to go here at number 2 for the effect. Okay, so those two match up. So if you need to pause, like I said, the video to find those two, you can do that. Or if you are, writing in the numbers, whatever you need to do. But Jamestown was located on a marsh is the cause. Mosquitoes were everywhere, and they carried diseases, and people got sick is the effect. So that's 1 and 2. We're going to do one more together, and then I'm going to have you do the last 4 on your own. So I'm looking for another set of cause and effect. I heard something about attack. I heard the word attack twice. So here we go. There were Native American tribes living nearby. The Spanish wanted the land too, and there was a threat of an attack. Okay. Then I'm going to find the other one that said, here's the other one that said attack. The colonists had to be prepared for an attack from natives or the Spanish at any time. They posted cannons at the corners of their fort. I definitely think those two things go together, but what I have to decide is which one is the cause and which is the effect. So if I'm thinking of cause and effect, the cause is the why, the effect is what happens. So I think the why, so here it tells us they were living near Native American tribes and they lived near the Spanish. That would tell me that's the why something would happen. And since the Native Americans were living by and the Spanish were living nearby, they had to be prepared at all times for an attack. And that means that they had cannons posted on the corners of their fort. So those two definitely go together, and I think that's the right order. So the one that says there were Native American tribes living nearby is going to be my cause here in number 3. So there were Native American tribes living nearby is number 3. And then the effect from that is this one that says the colonists had to be prepared for an attack from natives and the Spanish at any time. The one that talks about the cannons and them being prepared for an attack is going to go here on 4. So either cutting and pasting those, again, if you need to pause, you can, or writing the numbers that go along with those two. Now, we only have 4 pieces of paper left. So we've really kind of narrowed it down to what would go together. But I think the trick here is that you have to make sure, even if I have them matched up, you have to have them in the right place. Meaning, if it's an effect, don't put it over here in the cause. Okay, so we have to make sure they're on the right side of the table. I don't care what order they go in as far as which pair goes first, but I am going to grade you based on, did you put the right one in cause? Did you put the right one in effect? Okay. So make sure that you're taking your time on connecting those. If you need to go back into the story, or if you need to go back and listen to me going through the lesson, you can do that with these. The only other thing is that I want you to do is you can cross out 9 and 10. We're not going to do 9 and 10. You don't need to get another blank sheet or write the answers on the back of this paper. Okay, we're just doing the cause and effect up here. So that being said, you should have 1 through 4 answered. If you missed it or you didn't remember, go back in this video right now and go over those. And then it's up to you to finish 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, and then when you're done with that, if you are in class and you have a physical copy, it just needs to go in the tray. If you are working online, then you need to make sure that you either take a screenshot and submit it on Canvas or send it from Notability into Canvas on this page to, or not on this page, I'm sorry, the next page, and submit it. Okay, so watch this video again if you need to. Go back into the readings. Whatever you need to do it to it.